What's up, guys? We're back with another episode here at every Pod A Wildcat. I'm your host, Coleman Hawkins. I told you guys I'm gonna bring in some special guests, and I got my man right here. I got a new podcast show. I don't know if you can tell, I've been doing some push-ups, so yeah. Los Tacoritas, I have no clue, somewhere out here. Yes, sir. I feel like you're one of the guys that surprised me the most. I feel like you've been great. Dang. And welcome to Every Pod is a Wildcat. Is that it? Every pod is a Wildcat, or every pod a Wildcat? Every pod a Wildcat. What's your name, man?
David Castillo,
yes,
freshman, and yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, appreciate you for coming. So where are you from? Tell me a little about yourself, man.
From Bartlesville, Oklahoma. Born and raised in Oklahoma, born in Houston. And yeah.
Houston, yeah, I like Houston. Houston's a nice place. My sister lives out there, my uncle lives out there, but it's too hot out there though. It's too humid. So, no, that's cool. Oklahoma. So what's it like? I'm from California, Sacramento, California. So what's it like being in, living in Oklahoma?
So it's nothing like being in California. When you go out there, it's just grass, weeds, and oil and gas. So it's basically about it.
So what do you do in your free time? Like how'd you get into basketball? Like you're from Oklahoma. Me personally, I don't know any like hoopers from Oklahoma. No offense, but like how did you like get into basketball if that's kind of there's nothing really to do out there? Like,
no, my parents basically just put the ball in my hands. Being in Oklahoma, it was actually kind of good for me because there was no distractions. It was just ball and school. And so obviously I had my small group of friends, and I have a friend here in Manhattan too that's kind of like following me around. But I mean, Oklahoma is just no distractions, ball and nothing else.
That's cool. I noticed like a lot of people that go to K-State are either from like Texas, Oklahoma. I know they're kind of like surrounding us, so yeah, that's cool. Did you know anyone like any athletes that go to K-State now that are from that area at all? Or?
Yeah, so my former coach, Clint Stewart, he played at Kansas State. He played there, I think, 05 and to 08 or something like that. I don't really keep track because he's old. And then I have a former friend, longtime friend, AJ Parker. He played football here at Kansas State. He was a cornerback. Ended up playing in the NFL for around 3 years. So I have long ties with Kansas State.
I know Manhattan, to me, like I said, I'm from Sacramento. We got like stuff surrounding us. I got San Francisco by me. So Manhattan's kind of small to me. Is Manhattan bigger than where you're from? Smaller? What's it like?
It's around the same size.
Okay.
It's very similar though, just because kind of like Midwest feel to it, Midwest vibe. So it's just, and I'm so used to it now that like everything like 10 minutes away. It gives off a very homey vibe for me.
Yeah.
So
it's
very similar to Oklahoma. And that's why I think a lot of Midwest kids, like especially touching states and stuff, I think it's very similar for them too, because it's like this all around the Midwest.
That's cool. How far is that drive from here?
Like 4 hours.
4 hours? Okay, so that's not too bad. So you're a freshman. What's it been like? Because I remember when I was a freshman, it was a lot different though. It was a COVID year. We're doing COVID tests every day. I remember probably the biggest thing for me was how long our practices were. What's been kind of your biggest adjustment? What do you feel like you can improve on, and what's kind of just been like the biggest change for you, you feel like?
I think my biggest adjustment has been time management. I feel like I got so much free time, and just figuring out ways to be productive and balancing out school and sports. Yeah. I think one thing that I've loved about college is that the free time. Like you just get so much free time, and I don't know, it's nice. It's kind of nice to be on your own and be responsible for your own things. And then, as a freshman on the court, I feel like it's definitely been longer practices, more physical, a lot more like just contact and just stronger bodies. But I mean, other than that, I mean, it's been very smooth for me so far.
Yeah, I feel like if I didn't know that you were a freshman, I wouldn't have been able to tell that you're a freshman. So no, I feel like you've done a really good job. You're honestly, to me, I feel like you're one of the guys that surprised me the most. I feel like you've been great, listening, making plays, creating shots for yourself. So I think I honestly think David's going to do a good job. He's a freshman now, but I think he's going to do a good job of really giving our team a boost. And whether that's starting, whether that's off the bench, I feel like David's a guy who can really impact the game because, there'll be guys lined up on the scouting report, and David would be that energy guy who could come in and make an impact right away. So I feel like you've done a great job of kind of just being yourself. What did you kind of do to, prepare yourself for college? Because I feel like you personally, like I said, like you're a smaller guard, but I still feel like you're strong. Like what did you kind of do to prepare yourself?
I think one key aspect that prepared me was my family, my supporting cast. I think it wasn't so much basketball. I think it was more of just like my mental side. My family has prepared me and making sure I just take care of myself off the court, which allows me to be myself on the court. And I think that's been a major key for my performance on the court, and like you said, kind of just my maturity and how I've approached things this season.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, my first freshman year, I was nervous. I did not think I could play. I was like, oh crap, I played with Kofi Coburn, Io DeSumo. I played on some good teams my freshman year. So to go in and even to play a couple minutes a game, I was surprised. But I thought I did a decent job. But I feel like you can really help us impact our team this year.
No, you say you play with guys like those, and you said you were a little nervous as a freshman. What's some advice you would give me as a freshman? What's some advice you would give, especially coming from your perspective too? If you say you were nervous sometimes, or obviously just little things on the court that you weren't used to from coming from high school. What's kind of some advice you would give to freshmen?
I think the biggest thing would be kind of honestly letting the I'm a freshman term fly, let it go. Yeah. You're on our basketball team, right. Sometimes I'd be like, oh, I'm a freshman, I'm young, I'm okay. But for you, I feel like you should just be I'm on the basketball team. I play basketball at K-State. I feel like you're mature enough and you're prepared enough to make plays and impact the game. I thought I was okay as a freshman, but like I said, there are some times where I didn't not hope that I didn't play, but I'm I don't need to play right now. I feel like you need to play for us to be good. So I'd say don't even think of yourself as a freshman. Just think of yourself as I'm on the K-State basketball team. I'm point guard, and I help this team. But even off the court too, I feel like I did a good job of using my time properly, of getting an understanding, a feel for the game. And I feel like that's how I can pass the ball pretty well. I feel like I understand how to create mismatches, manipulate defenses, understand what defenses we're in. So if you become a student of the game, by the time you're a senior, junior, sophomore, you'll be able to expand and see the game a whole lot differently and at a slower pace too. I felt like as a freshman, I was very sped up and just played at one speed, but now I feel like there's times where the game feels a lot slower to me and I can make plays and impact the game. And once you ask questions, and me personally, I watch film on my own. I do a lot of stuff on my own, but there's times where you can just understand, and once you understand how to, like I said, manipulate defenses,
just the nuances of the game.
Yeah, every aspect.
Right.
So when I say that, what do you how do you see the game? How do you offense and defense? Because me personally, I'll say this, for defensive purposes, when I'm on defense, I feel like a team should, and I'm not saying you should work less, but for your defense to be good, I feel like you should have a plan where your defense doesn't work as hard, but it still challenges the offense harder than you challenge your defense. So what I'm saying is, you're not working extremely hard, and that's staying out of rotations. That's, all the things that come with defense. The less you can stay out of a rotation, the less you have to move. So me personally, I like to keep things 2-on-2 and go home, limit threes. And the less you can, kind of overwork your defense and challenge the offense more, the more I feel like the more successful you can be on defense. And that's flip-flop too. If you have to work less on offense while challenging the defense more, you could be successful. And that comes with plays where you can steal baskets. That comes with getting catch and shoot wide open looks. How do you that's how I see the game. How do you see the game for yourself?
I'm trying to get to where you're seeing the game. Right now I'm thinking of more like, what's my job, right? So as like a point guard, it's like, okay, making sure these guys are in certain spots. Defensively, I'm trying to put pressure on the ball. I'm trying to be vocal, and I'm trying to make sure guys are ready for rotations, ready for just anything that happens on the floor. And then same thing offensively, right? Knowing the play calls, knowing, where guys need to be, making sure guys get touches, certain shots, making sure guys feel good. That's kind of where I'm at. And obviously I want to get to a point where you're seeing, okay, like a team aspect.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like, I like what you said, like I like 2-on-2, like things like that kind of just like separate, and see the game at a different level.
Yeah.
I definitely want to get to that point.
Yeah, and when I say like 2-on-2 for the viewers, like I'm saying like in ball screens, all right, we have 2-on-2, and it's literally dependent on a guard like David, who I feel like is fully capable of doing it, fighting and warring over a ball screen, and the big not letting the roller get behind him, and keeping it 2-on-2, forcing tough twos, in my opinion, is great defense. When you let, guys like on our team, Brendan and Max, get catch and shoot threes, impact the game that way, or we're in rotations a lot, or that when the ball gets to one side of the floor and you have to rotate your whole defense, that to me is you're working your defense extremely hard, but the offense is still being able to, so that's just where I'm at, like as far as defense. And like I said, defense is extremely hard, so that's just my philosophy on defense. I feel like if you can work less while still challenging the offense more, I feel like you could be successful. But so
I got a question for you.
What's up?
So you said you played with guys like Kofi, AO, all those guys, right? And it's kind of that's a talented roster. Mm-hmm. We're deep. Yeah. I feel like we're talented, and sometimes it's difficult to gel us together. I feel like those guys like gel together really well. What's some aspect you think as a team you think we need to do better as like gelling and making sure like talent doesn't get in the way of winning?
Yeah, I feel like that's a really good point. I feel like it was just a lot easier for us because and this isn't a knock on Coach Tang or anything, because now it's everybody coming from all over and getting new pieces. Right. We're so like new and fresh together. That team I was on with Io and them, they had been playing with each other 3 years, right. 2-3 years. So that's why a lot of good teams like Purdue, like a lot of teams that get their guys back and already know and understand their concepts, they're pretty good. Right. So like, I feel like once we are on the same page, as we understand our concepts, we understand our defensive principles, we understand what we're trying to get out of our offense, it'll be a lot easier for us to come together, because now we have one common goal of putting that together and winning. Right. Compared to, okay, we got to figure out where we could put this guy, or we got to still figure out what we're trying to do on defense, or all right, this guy's not understanding. And even for me, like I came from Illinois, there's some times where I'm like, what is going on here? Because I'm so used to when the ball's here. Yeah, I'm so used to a system. So we've all come from different places, but once we have the proper understanding of what it takes for our team to be successful from coach's viewpoint, and he pours it into us, and we all are connected on that, then I think it will be a lot easier. I don't think we'll have to worry about egos. I'm not saying we have any of that now. I haven't seen any of that, but we won't have to worry about egos. We won't have to worry about who thinks this is right, who thinks this is wrong. It would all just be like a collective effort where we can challenge teams and be able to win games. So yeah. What about road games? Are you nervous for road games? How do you feel? Because like I said, me personally, I like road games.
Yeah.
I like the the environment. I like the atmosphere. I like seeing different. I like the hostility.
Yeah.
What do you like? Home, away? What do you?
I'm more of just like I just like a game. Like I don't really care. I don't really pay attention to the outside. I don't really care who's in the crowd or not. Like I'm really just like a win the game type of guy. Obviously I love the away environment. Yeah. Just like that feeling of everybody against you, and you still coming out on top. I think it's just like a feeling like no other. Yeah. Especially when you're with your team too, and you with your guys, and the crowd's booing and giving you all this nonsense, and you guys, the team comes together and prevails, and I think that's a great feeling too. But I'm excited. I think like road games, I think is something, and then just different venues too. Venues that I grew up watching, playing in those venues, I think is something to look forward to for sure.
So you said that. Do you have any and I'm not trying to give anyone any ideas or hold this against my man DC. Any arenas or atmospheres you're excited about playing in, or like anyone specific?
Definitely Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden is so legendary, and I think that place is just it's legacy in there.
Yeah, I've gotten the opportunity to play there twice, but once you gotta walk almost like half a mile up that ramp, you won't want to play there no more. There's like a long ramp where you gotta walk up and do the check-in stuff. Madison Square Garden's cool. My family's some of my family members came to my games out there the 2 times I played out there, and I've been lucky enough to win there twice, so I'm 2-0 there. So Madison Square Garden's a cool place. I like playing in NBA arenas. Like it feels fun. Have you played any?
I played in Portland. The Portland arena for Hoop Summit. That was pretty dope, and there was a ton of fans, and it was the depth perception is something you gotta get used to for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I played at one of my favorites is Pfizer Forum. Do they still call it? Yeah.
Where's that at?
Where Marquette plays. The Bucks.
Okay.
So yeah, they have a pretty good crowd usually, and I mean they're actually rocking. But yeah, that was a nice place to play at. But
for the Manhattan fans, what is like a area or place you like to eat at here in Manhattan? Like what's an area that you enjoy being around?
Me personally, I've been Uber Eating these burrito tacos. I don't even know the name, but if you can get your hands on some burrito tacos, I'm telling you, they're really good. The tacos where you dip it in the broth, I'm telling you, those are fire. So there's some Los Tacoritas. I have no clue, somewhere out here. But if I had to pick like a spot, I don't even know. There's a lot of solid places, but I'm an ice cream guy, so I love Cold Stone. I always hit up that Cold Stone in Aggieville. What about you?
That's definitely my spot too. That Cold Stone, that Chipotle right next door. That place is, man. That ice cream, it hits every time.
It hits every time. Is there anything like you got to get used to out here? Like I feel like, or anything that caught you off guard, like the fans. Like for me, people are like very nice here. It's just kind of weird, like going into places and like they're not like, oh, what's up, Coleman? Because but I'm sure once the season starts. But is there anything that kind of caught you off guard about the fans or people here in Manhattan? Or
no, I think that the fans and everything has been like nice. I think one thing that I'm going to have to get used to is the weather. Mm-hmm. I know that it gets extremely cold all the time, so it's like just having to pack up and layer up.
Yeah, it's pretty windy right now.
Yeah, so.
It's fall, but I love fall weather. So yeah, that's some definitely. And with our apartments across the street, we'll have to walk over too. Right. It'll be cold. So, no, that's what we got time for today. My man David.
Yes, sir.
He's a good player, man. He's gonna be really good. Give him some time. I like his game. He's my teammate right here. He's gonna do a good job helping us this year. So. Dave, I appreciate you, man.
Yes,
Thank you for the time. And hey, if you want to come back, come holler at me.
Yes, sir.